What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Veve Vibes, where I love talking all things Veve NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So it's actually been a while since I've done a video like this where it's like really dug deep into the market. What are some of the best buys for certain price points? I used to do this all the time months back, but now that the market, has been pretty bearish for a while, we have potentially Star Wars. Veve's really hyping up the month of May quite a bit. So I really think the market right now is at a bit of a holding pattern. So this video is more of like, these are things you should really keep your eye on. And if you do buy right now, if you're holding it long term, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. If you're planning on holding something for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, it doesn't really matter. All this stuff that we have right now on the market is at a great price. But these are things that you should mostly just kind of keep your eye on when, let's say, the market does do a reversal, MTL really pops things off. We have the website up and all that. I do think we can see some sort of small reversal on the market here in the short term. So before we jump into it, my picks for all the NFTs below 100 gems. This is just focusing on collectibles, not comics. That'll probably be its own video. Before we do that, a huge thanks to all the people that have helped me get to picking new headphones. I finally got new headphones. I ended up picking the Audio Technica MX40, which is a really great value. This is the first time I've actually spent more than probably $100 on headphones, so I really enjoy them. Thank you to Bones, Fun Under the Sun, Choo Choo, and of course Roger Dodgers Dividends. So much for the help. Follow at HRO Vibes, and of course Steamboat Willie and Fastos at 9.9999 million on the market if you want to follow me on Veve. So all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first one we actually have, the first two, I actually put them together, which is the Daisy lenticular card as well as the mini lenticular card. I do think both of these cards back to back, I'm actually like, the fact that we're getting more golden moments kind of makes me more bullish on the lenticular cards. I know that sounds really strange, but the fact that other than basically Minnie, other than Mickey and Minnie, all the other cards pretty much have way lower mints than a lot of the golden moments. These seem to be highly collectible. I love the fact that it shows the classic look of these Disney characters. It has the gold trim, it has the autograph on the back, has the lenticular effect. It also has the music that plays. Like, this is just a collector's dream, in my opinion. And the fact that you can get something like Minnie and Daisy Duck below 100 gems at this point, obviously at an all-time low, honestly, I think says a lot. I mean, we have less than 9,000 mints on this Daisy card, and as you go up into the other lenticular cards, it's just going to get even cheaper. So we'll be going a bit faster because I actually have quite a few recommendations. The next one is Cogsworth and Luminaire. I mean, this is the only golden moment right now for under 100 gems. There is another one that's kind of slowly trailing behind and not too far, but the fact that you can just get a golden moment for under 100 gems is something that myself and a lot of other Veve users, people that have been here for longer than a few months, would have never thought would have ever happened. But yet here we are. We have Cogsworth and Luminaire, double FA for beating the beast. Great NFT to pick up right now. Again, I'm not saying buy these right now. I mean, if you're thinking super long term and you have the money to spend, go for it. Maybe you do want to wait for what the month of May kind of has in store for us, but right now these are some of the pickups. I would kind of have a close eye on the NFTs, I should say. Next one is Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is actually, someone posted on Twitter like a few days ago that Lightning McQueen was like the #2 best selling, I think I have the note here, like $10 billion in merch sales. Just that, I don't know if that includes cars or just Lightning McQueen, whatever it is, but the fact, I also try to pick one NFT from each, let's say, group of NFTs. Like, don't get me wrong, you can pretty much pick any Pixar NFT below 100 gems and it'd be a good pickup. I try to pick Lightning McQueen because in my opinion, I think that's the best one for under 100 gems. I know Woody's a bit more expensive. The other one I haven't written down here, but I actually forgot to type it in, is actually the Guernica poster. This is actually below box price at this point because the box price of these was 100 gems. Now it's actually below box price. I really like the story, the historical significance, as well as this being like a very first charity NFT that Veve's ever had on the platform. So I really like the Guernica poster. I have 3 of these myself. I bought these when they were probably a little bit closer to like 150, 160. So obviously I'm down, but I'm holding these for the long term, so it doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. Let's go ahead and keep moving on. That one, oh yeah, now we're getting into the Marvel Mighty. So I try to pick one from each one. Didn't pick a Eternals Marvel Mighty, not too bullish on those, but personally I think the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four grouping is probably one of the best pickups you could do. I really like the low end mints. I think some people could argue that the Human Torch is arguably the coolest one of the 4 just because it can light on fire, he can fly, he can do all kinds of stuff. Did have an all-time high here of about 230 at one point, and now he's all the way back down to 50 gems. He actually got lower not too long ago, about 47 gems. So I really like Human Torch, mainly because it has way less mints than Invisible Woman, The Thing, as well as Mr. Fantastic, so I do like those. Let's see the other ones I had here on the list. Steve Rogers. As you guys notice, I'm mostly picking FAs because I do think those are going to hold the most value and significance in the future. Steve Rogers, FA, Captain America, going for below 40 gems. The box price of the Marvel Mighties back then was 13 gems, but yeah, this thing is getting almost to an all-time low. And again, I mean, the pricing for this stuff only happened in like mid-October, so I'm sure it was cheaper at some point. But the fact that you can pick up FA Captain America for 40 gems is pretty crazy. And then the next one, I think for the Spider grouping, for Spider-Man that came out quite some time ago. I think I might have passed it up. Maybe it's not here. I have to type it in. Give me one sec. Let's go ahead and go Ghost. I really like Ghost Spider, to be honest. Of that grouping that came in, why is it not showing Ghost Spider? If I just type in Spider. Ghost Spider. So Ghost Spider for 35 gems is absurdly low. Don't get me wrong, I like Spider-Man, but it's not FA. And on top of that, I do think Ghost Spider, or as I say, the Gwen Stacy Spider-Man, or Spider-Woman version, whatever you want to call it, is going to have more future appearances in the MCU, other kind of comic book or like entertainment medium. So I do think Ghost Spider will perform very well. Don't get me wrong, Spider-Man is going to do well too if you pick him up instead. That's fine. But I just kind of hedging my bets if I had to. Plus, you can pretty much get 2 Ghost Spiders for the cost of 1 Spider-Man if you were going to go pretty heavy in the Marvel Mighties. This is one of the, actually I have 2 different black and white, Batman black and white. So I did kind of one of the more old school versions and one of the newer school versions. So I picked the Doug Maneki. I have no idea how to pronounce that. The fact that this is below box price. I mean, this came out not too long ago. I know this hasn't spent a ton of time in the market, but the fact that people were paying 50 gems for these at one point and now they're going for 44. This was actually part of Veve's marketing material. This is like the Batman they used very early days of Veve. So I do think it'll hold some significance for a lot of the kind of like Veve OGs or people that were on Veve very early on, where he's like basically sliding like into like the phone and stuff like that. It's also probably one of the best action shot Batmans that we have on the platform, if not the best. So I think the one thing that is holding this back is 2 things. One, hasn't had a lot of time in the market. I mean, this thing has been in the market for, I think, a little bit, not even a full month yet. And on top of that, it is pretty high on the mint end of things. So as an uncommon, having nearly 13,000 mints compared to this next one of the newer age black and white series Batmans, this one only has 5,500. So it's less than half the mints of the other one. It's also an uncommon. This one has had plenty of time in the market. I know that peak for the all-time high at 650 seems really skinny. So typically I try to like take the average. I'm like, all right, maybe it's a little bit closer to around here where it's like 450. So I think that peak, that all-time high might be one purchase, or sometimes that price only holds for like 6 to 12 hours and then it goes immediately back down. So I don't really like judging things just strictly looking at the all-time high and that's it. I try to find some candles around it to kind of show some level of support, or can it hold a certain price for an extended period of time. Yeah, Gary Frank Batman. The fact that, again, you know, I had an all-time high of 650, again, you know, 450. But I do like that it's pretty much at an all-time low. So if I had to pick one of the old school Batmans, and I know there's plenty of them, there's Darwin Cook and there's a couple other ones that are below 100. If I had to pick one right now, I'd probably pick Gary Frank, because again, the low mints, and additionally, I do think it has the most room to grow of all the Batmans below 100 right now. Next one is Catwoman. I think this one is, you know, she's in the newer movie. I do think Catwoman's going to make more appearances in DC for the most part, and it's an FA, like at the end of the day. So I do think Catwoman, this was part of my best NFTs for under 100 all the way back in like December. I remember putting her in my best NFTs for under 100 gems, and she's one of them. And of course, again, it's FA. Again, Batgirl. I had both of these. I had both of these, as well as I think Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I also had Batman Who Laughs, like had all those of the, you know, my favorite NFTs below 100 that are FA. So yeah, and so yeah, Batgirl right here. So there's 2 different versions of her. They have the exact same spelling, so don't get caught. The one where she's actually doing like a selfie in like the purple outfit, that is the FA version, not the other one. Again, all-time low when it comes to listings. The pricing is not an all-time low, but it's getting there. But she's at 47 gems right now, when she did peak at basically 300. Again, I'm more in favor of kind of showing the support where she's a little bit closer to like 240. So I really like Batgirl. She's actually probably one of my favorite NFTs on the platform, alongside Batman Who Laughs and Dragon Girl. So going on to the next one is, yeah, all the Deadpools below 100 right now. It's pretty much been confirmed by Veve that we're going to be getting cosmetics. You can add them, you can remove them. There's going to be ways to customize your NFTs. They will be adding features that can maybe change the change like the stances or the poses of your NFTs, change the outfits, all kinds of stuff. So when I'm looking at this, me personally, I'd probably, you know, go for, I think this one has the coolest looking stance. The Deadpools that are below 100, as well as I do like the Candy Cane combat right now. So it's pretty much the common, the uncommon, and the rare are all below 100 right now. I do like the rare quite a bit because he is doing more of an action pose. It looks like he's vaulting over something. It's also the only Deadpool that actually has a weapon like pulled out, like his dagger, which I really, or one of his swords, I guess, which looks really, really cool. So again, imagine taking off all the cosmetics and it actually looks like a sword. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. And again, pretty much all these NFTs that I'm showing here are at or probably near all-time lows for the most part. And most of them are FNAs, if most of them are FAs, if not all of them. To kind of piggyback off of that, we also have storms as well. Pretty much any of the storms are going to be pretty great to pick up. I mean, it's an FA storm, it's the FA X-Men, so it's arguably a double FA. You know, it's the FA Storm, and then she's also the first X-Men to also hit the Veve platform as well. So I like the common, the uncommon, the rare. And this is actually one I was going to mention, you know, a bit later, which I'll just, I guess, say it now because she's up, is the Storm Ultra Rare is actually getting pretty close to 100. So if we do end up getting like a Star Wars announcement or some pretty heavy hitting IPs coming up in this next month, there's a good chance that the Ultra Rare could go below 100. And I think if you're a huge Storm fan and you want to pick this up, I think it would be a fantastic pickup as well. So that's pretty much it for the ones, like, again, just kind of looking at it, not saying you have to buy it, but these are some of the best NFTs in my opinion that you guys should probably pick up if you guys were going to buy right now. Next one, this one's a bit more speculative. This one leans pretty heavily on the Veveverse, how much we're going to be able to interact with it later this year or early next year, and all that kind of stuff. And I would say the hoverboards. I think Marty's hoverboard is probably the most iconic one of all of them, right? Probably Marty's as well as the Pitbull hoverboard that was, I think, flown around by Biff, who's like the main character, you know, the main antagonist of the show for the most part. But all the other hoverboards, they're below 100 gems right now. I mean, look at Marty's hoverboard at one point where it's 500 gems, but I would say it's probably the average is a little bit closer to 300 in my personal opinion. So again, all-time listings for pretty much all these NFTs are at an all-time low. Marty's at an all-time low. You can, I mean, even for just 100 gems, you can pretty much pick up all the hoverboards. So the No Tech, the Question Mark, and the Rising Sun hoverboard, all for under pretty much 100 gems total for the most part. So you can actually pick up 3 hoverboards for under 100, which isn't a bad deal at all. So again, this one's a bit more speculative. I think the pricing of this varies mostly, in addition to all the drivable vehicles. It's going to lean pretty heavily on the interactivity that it will allow in like the Veveverse and things like that. Next one, whoop, I missed that part. The other ones is also the Mickey card. Actually, we got right back to what we were. So Mickey card is actually really close to 100 right now. So these last couple of recommendations I'm saying, last one was more speculative. This one's like right on the cusp, where it's like one big IP announcement or one big kind of like update from Mickey Mouse going below 100, and I think that's a fantastic pickup, as well as another golden moment, which is very, very close. I hope I'm spelling this right. Flounder and Sebastian. So this one's pretty much right on the cusp of 100. So again, the fact that we're having not only one, but potentially 2 golden moments go below 100 gems is absolutely crazy to me. But again, times change on the market. Things are looking pretty bearish for a while, but I do think once we get MTL, the website up, and a few other features, I do think we could see a pretty small bear run in the market now that people are able to, you know, we can actually get some whales in the market, or people that have been kind of on the fence of not getting into Veve because there is no cash out feature. Once that is up and running, I do think we might see a small bear run. We're not going to hit all-time highs. We're not going to have, you know, potentially the prices of these NFTs spike as quickly as we did in January, but we might see a small bull run, get things excited again. Then it'll probably retrace a bit all the way up into the fact that until we get like Omi to NFT or something like that later this year. So that's just my recommendations. I guess all the NFTs for below 100. If there's any that I missed or that you guys think that will do very, very well or that I overlooked, please put them down in the comments as well. I'll probably be doing a video at some point for the comics. And again, I'm not a big comic book collecting guy, but I think I do know enough, at least the ones that I'm going to invest in personally, and you guys can check those out as well. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care. Please double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over, and I'll catch you guys next time.